Terada with SIMA. I'm here on the trade show floor with John Allin, CSP, one of the founding members of SIMA. John, thanks for being here. I would like to just ask you a few questions on you are at the beginning phases of SIMA's evolution, and how has it evolved to this level over the 14th Symposium. Been around now for 15 years, and talk about us a little bit how it's the starting of it and how it's come to this spot that we are now today.
Originally, when we put the association together 15 years ago, we were essentially a group of plow jockeys that didn't know an awful lot about business, and we wanted to learn. We wanted to be taught. We wanted to figure out how to run snow as a business, because at the time, snow industry was so fragmented, there was not an awful lot of professionalism amongst the troops, if you will. So we banded together with the idea that we would bring people in who could teach us about business. Well, it evolved from there that we were able to learn as individuals about how to run a business better, about profit, overhead, labor issues. And as the organization continued to evolve and grow, we were able to bring in professional instructors to teach us about the legal ramifications of what we were doing, about the effects of overhead on profitability. And as the organization became larger, as the symposium grew, we began to interact with each other and gain ideas and traction from each other. The nice thing about the association is, even if you're talking to another competitor who might be in the same general geographic area that you're in, there is an exchange of ideas in an open forum. And on top of that, we're talking to people that are from different markets, and the openness between contractors here is much different than it would be if you were to, say, meet at Joe's restaurant in the morning after a plowing operation. There's camaraderie during a storm, but here at the symposium and through the association, the camaraderie that develops is more on a professional level. The growth has been very good for the industry. There's no doubt in my mind that the industry has become tremendously more professional in its view of itself and from the viewpoint of property managers and customers. Most of them, and I say this often, think that we're people that can't find real jobs. And that's not true. Mm-hmm. The preponderance of people that are attending this particular symposium are all professionals. And while we're on the subject, this symposium here, last I knew, we had attendees well over 1,600, which is far and above the best symposium that we've had in the past. The exhibitors are up, the number of exhibitors, the types of exhibitors. People who shunned us at the beginning now want to come and exhibit here. And it's gratifying to see the growth, and I think it's good for the industry.
Well, great. Yeah, I wanted to touch on that. Over 1,600 attendees and over 130 exhibit booths spanning a significant size of a trade show floor, large equipment to technology to anti-icing to de-icing, really covering the full realm of the snow and ice industry. Any other thoughts on that?
Well, at the first symposium in Pittsburgh, we had no vendors. We didn't even invite vendors to come and attend. A couple came anyway. And it was 3 or 4 years later before we actually had any kind of exhibits go on. We had tabletops at the beginning, and then we had an outdoor exhibit area for equipment, and then it's grew to what, or has grown to what we have now. It's nice to see. I think, personally, that a lot of the advances in technology and equipment are a result of symposium like this, because the contractors have gotten into the game, if you will, of technology and embracing it, and the contractors themselves have been the impetus and the catalyst for advances in the equipment technology and the software technology. It's no longer people who are trying to sell equipment to contractors. The contractors are participating in the process. That's good for the industry.
Great. Good comments. Let's talk just quickly about the second edition of Managing Snow and Ice.
Oh.
I know that you made some changes to the edition. It's just recently been republished as the second edition.
Yep.
Tell us a little bit about some of the changes that are coming in the second edition.
When I was asked about a second edition and I began working with the people who publish it, we went over the manuscript, the original manuscript, page by page. I had to read every sentence. And I was amazed when I was reading it, because it's been a few years since I've read my own book, and I was amazed at how outdated the information was. That the technology that I was talking about back in 2002 has evolved to the point where some of it's just no longer in use anymore. And I would, by my own estimation, probably 50% of the book is all new. Some of the stuff is timeless. Actually, how to plow snow on a site hasn't changed. I mean, let's face it, we're all doing it the same way. We're putting a piece of steel on the front of something with rubber tires and moving the snow off to the side. But the business side of it, the technology side of it, the advances in equipment, the way we view ourselves has all changed radically and dramatically in the last 6 to 8 to 10 years. And so the book is updated. It needed it sorely. And the new stuff that's in there in the book is all current. There's also a chapter that they asked me to write that asked me to dream about what it's going to be like in 10 years. So there's a full chapter on where will it be in 10 years. And it'll be interesting in 10 years to go back and see how close I was. And I would guess that I won't be close at all, that we'll have advanced so much further than what I was able to dream about today. It'll be interesting to see how that goes.
Well, good. Good comments. You can pick up your copy now at any time at johnallin.com for the second edition of Managing Snow and Ice.
Yeah.
And that's it. This is Martin Tirado and John Allin on the trade show floor of the 14th Annual Snow and Ice Symposium.